These people will sometimes spend hours and hours and hours looking at themselves in the mirror, hating what they see.
Yes, hating it. And that's caused a strange new trend, doctors say, is all thanks to those apps that touch up our photos. They're calling it Snapchat dysmorphia. Brigida Mack joins us to explain what it is. Probably a good chance you've used an app on your phone to enhance a picture, maybe for fun with your kids or maybe just to make your profile picture look even more amazing. But these apps are to blame for some really crazy new trends plastic surgeons are seeing. WBTV anchor Brigida Mack joins us now live in studio to explain this. This sounds pretty scary almost.
It is, Maureen, because most of us have used filters on social media before. But you really have to be careful that you don't confuse fun with fantasy. Plastic surgeons say many people are, and they're calling it Snapchat dysmorphia. Filters like the ones on social media app Snapchat can be fun.
There's a whole lot of crazy ones too.
But if you're not careful, you can go from fun to fantasy, especially with apps like Facetune.
I can just take a selfie, literally can smooth out anything that I don't like. Need it to be smoother? Sure. I can change where my eyebrows are, how far apart my eyes are, my nose, smile. Do I want to be happy, sad, happier? I mean, it's actually kind of scary how much you can change.
And board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Nyame says that is the danger.
They can now walk into a plastic surgeon's office and say, hey, I would love to look like this. Can you make me look like either this Snapchat filter or this Facetune photo or this variation of myself that may not be achievable?
As a result, plastic surgeons are seeing a rise in a phenomenon called Snapchat dysmorphia. It has the potential to trigger body dysmorphic disorder, a mental illness in which people can't stop obsessing over a perceived flaw, one that to others is either minor or non-existent.
When you look at an image, a two-dimensional image on a flat screen, there's so many things that you're not seeing.
A partner at Charlotte Plastic Surgery, he says education is key, and it starts as soon as someone comes in for a consultation.
What I'll do is get my camera out and take a standardized photo, and then we'll compare the two. And I'll show them sometimes how things like lighting can affect how somebody looks. Chin and neck position can affect how somebody looks.
He also uses this high-tech machine.
I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, bright light.
I had him show me the same thing he shows his patients, their features in 3D.
I can have the computer rotate.
Wow.
Turn your 3/4. And so when you're doing this on your phone, you only really have one snapshot. For example, if I wanted to broaden the hump of the nose, right, I could essentially change and give you a hump. If I wanted to.
For the record, no to the hump.
No to the hump.
All jokes aside, Dr. Nyame says it's the people who don't say no, or the ones who've seen several surgeons, that always concern him.
That should always be a red flag. A patient who's on their 6th or 7th consultation.
He says they often go abroad for surgery out of desperation, only to come back unsatisfied or with life-threatening complications.
There was a young lady who went abroad for plastic surgery. They performed too much liposuction, and she came back with a huge fluid collection.
Had he not drained that fluid, she could have died from an infection, something Dr. Nyame fears his field will continue to see.
For these people, this idea that they want to look like this filter is serious enough where they're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve it.
You know, what's remarkable is that he's taking such notice of it, and he's really concerned about their mental wellness, because a lot of people would just want to make money. So seems like a wonderful guy and really takes his profession seriously.
And he said that's indicative of whether or not you're with a reputable plastic surgeon. If they're going to take the time to say these results that you want are just not you know, achievable. You know, you're not going to be able to get them. So he says education is a really big part of all of this. And so every time he has a consultation, and he says all of his partners there at Charlotte Plastic Surgery do the same. And I also just got to give a shout out really quickly to our Ashley Stroline. She was kind enough to let us shoot video of her using Snapchat and Facetune. She was in the very beginning of the story there.
Of course, she's so beautiful. She doesn't need any of that stuff.
She said yes right away. I thought maybe I would have to twist her arm, but she said yes. So thank you for helping me tell the story, Ashley.
Super interesting, Brigitte. Thank you.